Hi YouTube, so today I'm going to be talking about Lilith in the second house, in the second house, and what happens when you have Lilith in the second house and how it plays out. So basically, the second house is traditionally ruled by Taurus, and it's the house of possessions, material possessions, day-to-day routines, and all of that stuff, usually money. So now, before I get started and offend anybody, I would just like to say that Lilith isn't necessarily the best, positive, happy planet. Dark moon, Lilith, and stuff, it's the space between Earth and the moon, that empty void, that cosmic energy. It represents like the shadow side to ourselves. So, therefore, it's going to be a little bit negative, so please don't get offended. It is just like the truth. It's just a shadow side and all of that. So now Lilith she is about like greed, dominance, independence, sexuality, and all of that stuff. She's the female version of Pluto. So the second house is about possessions, right? So Lilith in the second house makes you a very internally greedy for possessions and for money, and always wanting more money, always finding out ways to get wealth, always wanting wealth. You may use your sexuality to get money in any form, and I'm not saying that's everybody, I'm just saying that could be a way. Or your ways of getting money could be secretive. You may have gambling addictions, may have addictions towards crime that gets you money, but it's all secretive. Nobody knows. You may steal, you may manipulate others to get money. Now you deny that you are a materialistic person. Usually you will deny it if someone calls you out on it, and you will deny the fact that you love money. But on the inside, there's like a burning desire to have more money and material wealth and possessions. You know, there can be a hassle with gaining money because you may be a very frivolous spender and you may be addicted to spending money. You know what I mean? So you don't like to be seen as somebody who is frivolous with their money. Like, you don't like to be called out on your money, and because I guess that could be offensive to some. You know what I mean? But on the inside, like, you low-key know that you are very bad with handling your money, but it's very hard for you to gain it, but you like love it. And you might have secret ways of getting it, but Lilith can also be a very lazy planet. So you may not like to work. You may like to go for the back route to get money. Or you can approach what you show about yourself when it comes to your material wealth in a secretive way. And it's not necessarily bad or good. It's just like who you are. So just embrace it, bro. You know what I mean? You've always desired wealth from a young kid, and that could be like subconscious. Maybe you grew up in a house that or like in a family that wasn't necessarily wealthy, so therefore you aspire to have money. Or another way it can be is that you grew up in a very wealthy household, and as you get older, like, you find that you actually need to have the luxury and all of that, and maybe you may not just be a hard worker or any of that, so you go different ways to get it. Now females here may use prostitution. They may exploit their sexuality in any form. I'm not saying all women do this. I don't want to claim that. I'm just saying, like, there's more negative to gain money. They can be escorts, whether it be prostitutes, whatever it is, but men can do the same thing. Now, remember that this is just the dark side of a personality. You may have thought about doing that. A lot of people that have this placement, I read it. I can't claim it to be 100% true, but a lot of strippers have this placement along with Lilith in the first house. But you are very appealing because in order to get your needs met, because Lilith is all about sexuality and drugs and all of that, you are very attractive because you need to be to get what you want. It's just kind of how your energy's played out in your life. You know what I mean? Now, this could also be that you spend money on drugs and addictions of any sort. There might be something that costs a lot of money that you constantly need to buy, whether it be drugs, whether it be, can be from video games to freaking heroin to like candy and like junk food to needing to buy like nice cars and stuff like that. It can be any sense of the spectrum, just anything materialistic you can have an addiction to, and you may find yourself always spending money on it. And sometimes it's like you can't control it, like your need to buy things might be like impulsive. And I kind of understand this just because I'm a Taurus myself, and I can't imagine having Lilith in the second house because I can be an impulsive buyer. I'm just saying that because when I see something that I want that could be unnecessary, I just buy it anyways and then realize I don't need it, but I always have to restrict myself, and I can. So you might be like a secret spender, especially if like you're married or like if you still live with your parents and all that, like, and they don't necessarily like your spending habits, you might hide it, which just creates a subconscious thing that you hide everything in a sense, and you hide how much you make and you hide how much you spend from everybody, and you kind of want to like disillusion people on your material aspects in life. So yeah, your finances, not a lot of people know about them, and you may like manipulate them to believe it's something else than what you actually make or what you actually spend. Now, when it comes to sexuality, a lot of people believe that with this placement that the more money that you have, the more attractive you are, or like the more, I don't know, the more that like you are in a higher position to get the person that you want in your life. Or you may use like your partner's money to buy stuff, or you could actually spend a lot of money on your partner. So it can go either way. Just know that this placement has to do with money, materialistic things, and you don't really like to be called materialistic, but you know that like on the inside it's like your dark side. So nobody wants their dark side to be shown. A lot of people with this placement can be embarrassed about how money and their desire for it plays out. So it's nothing really to be ashamed of, but I know that people will still hide it. But just know that like it can be controlled once you figure out like you have to pinpoint it yourself, like how psychologically it's affected you and like where it all began and all of that. So yeah, that was it for Lilith in the second house. Just know it has to do with greed, because this is all the negative side of like the house basically. It just has to do with greed, wanting wealth, spending, overspending, maybe being a little bit stingy when it comes to giving to other people. And yeah, that's basically the themes of the second house with Lilith. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.